last win against South Carolina, off to a great start.
Both teams going to play 4-out basketball. A lot of open lanes, penetration to pitch.
Here's Mason Jones. Misses his first. Rebounded.
And one of the things that has bothered the Razorbacks all season, rebounding.
Last year they were last in the SEC, and then they lose Daniel Gafford, so you anticipate that being an issue, and it has been throughout the course of this season for Arkansas. That's the score early that they're looking for. Great decision there by Pippen Jr.
Here's Jones in transition.
And
got him from
Holmes.
Is that an assist or a turnover on that? I'm not sure how you do that. Here we go. Here we go.
Back to me. Jones has 7.
Early.
It's going to be weird and continue to be weird.
Oh, here we go.
Play through. Play on.
Did y'all hear that, or was that just in my head? It was like an inadvertent buzzer in my head from time to time.
Mason Jones wants this game to continue, doesn't he?
No question about that.
That was right on target, too. Just short.
And while you're at it, get that guy on the stock market.
More dials to turn to fix that. Here's Mason Jones.
Good D.
He gets hustled into a turnover.
In free throws attempts and free throws made.
He rebounds it. He passes it. He is a multi-dimensional talent.
And Eric Musselman has a guy that had his own playbook when he was at Nevada, Caleb Martin, who had, by the way, career high 24 against the Hawks the other night in his starting debut for Charlotte. And Caleb Martin was a guy that they drew up a lot of plays for as a point forward and to get downhill and to get to the free throw, work his way back to proving that he's a good shooter.
Well, the rareness is not that he's not only proved a great shooter, but a clutch shooter. Like, he wants it at the end of a game to make the shots. And a lot of times, if you have even a half a season early, and you're not shooting.
7-point game again.
Is that why you're sitting over here?
Exactly. Some of us are late learners.
A little half-court pressure. Not much, and Mason Jones loves it. He's been quiet after the start.
Mason Jones, co-player of the year in the league, sitting on 7.
A good movement on the offensive end.
Great execution.
Shot clock at 3. Jones into the paint, finds Witt.
And great patience. That is a great option.
We know that we're going to execute on the offensive end, and it's hard for the defense to continue to execute, especially those final couple seconds. They think the possession's over.
That's a good point. Plus, they had 2 guards that are NBA guys.
Right, that hurt.
Well, that had the confidence of making a play.
And a lottery pick in DeAndre Hunter, who's been a pretty good rookie pro.
Yeah, he's a pick and pop guy.
Got to close him out long, make him bounce it into shots. He wants to catch and shoot.
Yeah.
We all know what's about to happen here. He's going to go make a play. That guy.
You think? I mean, you think gravity
would be better.
And he strips it away. Mason Jones trying to lead the break. Oh, and he slipped and slides into second base save. Saban Lee's into double figures. He's got 10. It's a 12-point Arkansas lead now.
That's the way you get going offensively. If you're struggling a little bit, they're doing a great job of shrinking the floor on Saban Lee, not giving him driving angles. Move off the ball, which is what he just did. Got himself an easy layup.
You know, Scottie Pippen Jr., 9th in the SEC play in assists in his freshman season. They rely on him with the basketball, making decisions.
He played on a very talented team at Sierra Canyon High School. Witt slices his way in.
His ability to defend. He's done a great job with Saban Lee, not allowing the guy in black who's capable of going from 30 to get off to this point in the game.
Another block for Henderson.
He's pretty much taken Lee out of the game offensively. Lee's got 12 points, 6 free throws, but he's taking him out of the offensive flow.
Dalen Harris with the jump.
Set coming into this game from behind the arc. He shot that in confidence.
Witt with the steal, playing with 4 fouls. Here's Jones. Goes right past Albert and off the window.
He's still trying to get contact. He finally converted the bucket.
I really like that young kid. I like these young players for Vanderbilt. Got to be a little patient, which is hard in this day and age of collegiate sports. Great pass.
Jimmy Witt Jr.
How about that? They double-team situation.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
So obviously a very serious situation and not a decision that was come to lightly for those who hold tickets for the SEC tournament. Automatic refunds of ticket purchases will be made to fans who are the original purchaser of the tickets from the SEC office or an SEC university or a verified purchaser on the SEC ticket exchange powered by Ticketmaster. So,
and you know, defensively, they've been good out front, right? They're trapping, they're doing the things they did. I thought early in the season they were really good. Got away from a little bit when Joe went out.
And I think Ethan Henderson has been terrific tonight. You look at his stat sheet, he's only got 3 rebounds. He doesn't have a point, but he's got 3 big blocks. And
so every time Scottie Pippen has taken it to the rack, he's looked at the official.
Feeling like he's playing through some contact.
I'm not sure the officials like that, though. You give them one heads up, but other than that, they don't appreciate it too much.
Interesting to see tomorrow with limited spectators in the building how the officials react. It's another.
Wright's got 4. What do they want out of the pressure?
Well, they want that right there. They want to try to create the break.
Did you
in the break? Well, this was more important. My thoughts are more important. As we were watching in the break, and the dance teams, they won't be allowed to come tomorrow either. So does that mean we have to entertain the crowd at halftime?
I don't think anybody.
I'm expecting you guys to do the magic run shit.
In their building right now. NFL draft had 250,000 people a day.
And I am so glad that this is the quote. Said Mason Jones, and I think he shared, both of those guys shared in the postseason honor. Deservedly so. I think Mason Jones has just been tremendous. Arkansas season would have been on a completely different trajectory if Isaiah Joe does not go down. But Mason Jones, I can't imagine anybody being more valuable to their team in this league than Mason Jones.
And the shot clock winding down. Jones trying to make it happen. You still have a vote? Did you?
Of the first game where Georgia was in complete control. Ole Miss made a little bit of a run, and then Georgia put out the fire. Let's see if Arkansas can do the same.
Witt's solid. I mean, he can play any position. Got that off arm. He's pushing off.
And I guess they're just taking Mason Jones off the ball and give him a little rest. Good extra pass to the corner.
And that's why you put Sills in the corner.
Tremendous defensive effort. Arkansas taking away Mason Jones. They will rumble in and got ridden to the ground.
A really talented player. You can tell he's young, and it's been a long season on him. But
Jones left wide open off of the screen.
But another summer in the weight room, and Dylan DeSue.
When you're making a comeback, Andy, you've got to make that shot. I know it's not, always not going to make 100% of them. But when you're making a comeback, those are the shots you got to make.
You're exactly right, Sonny. And especially when you're down 13 with 6 to play. It's been a long year. You got an open look.
3 off the front of the rim by Gordon.
The over-under on you saying shot clock under 10 in this game is very high.
It's going to be a lot.
That's
right?
what A&M wants to do, is wear the clock out.
Jones misses the 3.
Dribbles and finds a way to get to the rack and finishes.
I think you said it best. Power is one of the best adjectives to describe him. I mean, just look at his base. He is a massive man. Jones. And knocks it down.
He's playing as confident as anybody in the SEC right now. The scouting report on him early on was it was a guy you could outwork. Not a lot of urgency to his game, but no longer the case.
Flags had 7 straight games in double figures. A&M leading by 4 here in the early going in the first half. Jones. Wow, that was downtown.
That's on J.J.
Jackson into the game, stopped by Sills. Picked off. Here's Jones. He'll pull for 3. Why not? Yes, that is confidence. No one under for the rebound. Low scoring game here, 14 all. Good defense. Jones. Gosh, he is so smooth.
That's done by Miller. Inside shots, inside rebounds. That can be A&M's best offense many times.
Miller, Canadian from Ontario. Nebo out on Jones. See how he does. Jones has asked for everybody to clear out. switch comes over. Witt in. And Nebo was in his face.
He had to.
5 3-pointers by the Hogs as well, but A&M closed that half on a 12-2 run to take the 3-point lead. This is the first minute of the second half. Jones bumped on the way to the basket. A couple of guys for the Aggies.
Well, if you play behind Nebo, they're going to throw it into him every time. And Henderson gives up strength, but he also has length. That time, strength won out.
Now keep in mind, Arkansas is back in the next 4 out of Joe Lunardi. There's an offensive foul. Witt was looking for a screen. Jones knocks it down. He just makes it look.
It comes to that.
He has got massive quads as well, and he's not built like a traditional basketball player. He's built more like a football player, soccer player, tennis player. A lot of definition in the upper part of those legs. He uses that to
It's like
get
you
that
on
bounce.
It's like you on that Peloton, Sam.
There's a 3.
Your point center. He's checking Nebo. As Coach Musselman says, look, if none of my centers are going to guard him, then I'm just going to.
Jackson pushes the Aggie lead up to 7.
As much as Mason Jones has carried Arkansas this year, and he's going to have to keep making plays, but it's got to be somebody else, just him, if it got above 65. But they've been able to do that recently. At Auburn, 78 points, 87 points against Mississippi State. And here they are right now playing good enough offensively to build a 10-point lead.
A&M could get to double digits in SEC wins with a win today against Arkansas. Jones, step back 3, off the front of the rim. Jackson for 3, in and out. And Henderson again with that presence in the middle for the Razorbacks. Jones, and goaltending or a foul. Let's see.
About shooting yourself back into this game. It's got to be about defending yourself back into this game if they want to have any chance at the tournament.
Jackson made both free throws. Good D by the Aggies. They disrupt Arkansas for the moment. Aggies, you can feel the intensity on defense. Joe pushed off.
In the shot clock.
Henderson this time gets the steal. Another chance for Arkansas.
Nice.
Jones buries it. That's like a layup for most guys.
Beautiful.
Are you kidding me? And then Jones answers with a 3. And today looking to close out the regular season over Arkansas. Offensive foul on Jones, and you know.
Little adjustment by Will Wade at shoot-around today. They're not switching as much as they normally do.
Jones off the mark, and it'll be saved by the Tigers.
Really a point guard by trade. Skylar Mays, not really a point guard by trade. But nonetheless, they have been really good as the season has gone along in not only finding of the Musselman offense, setting up ball screens to where you get the matchup you like and then attack.
Jones. Well, a step back well short. That was a tough shot. Outside to Smart. And Javonte Smart off glass. Missed it twice. Off the spin. Mason Jones from downtown. Mays. Too strong.
My old coach would say that was $1 million move, but a nickel shot.
Mason Jones off glass.
Doesn't take a lot of threes, but more than capable. Now 7 of 18 on the season.
Henderson wide open for the block. Career high in the first half tonight, and lo and behold, he's done that with 7 points. Here's a steal. 3-on-2. Outside to Jones. Yes, sir. Mark. The score really shouldn't be a surprise.
No.
Jones. Cheney chases down the loose.
Skylar Mays going under ball screens on Mason Jones. Don't be surprised if Jones eventually shoots.
I think he's fine with that. Inside, penetrating move.
Bang plays. Call it against the defense.
And the Hogs have been doing the banging tonight so far. Cheney, brilliant dime. 51-34, the deficit at 17. Shot clock is off.
That's just his 5th made 3 of the year. Gonna wait too late.
Jones wants it, takes it, fouled, and one! Here's back to 20.
Here's what I'm talking about. I like this. Change things up.
From the corner, Isaac. Taylor on the bench. Bishop. Two on three for Mason Jones.
Hyatt's too far off. Jones is going to shoot that.
You can feel it coming. There it is. For three! Skylar Mays makes him pay on the other end. See the foul trouble across the board for the Tigers as the lead dwindles to 17.
Take a look at all those fouls. Here's LSU trying to make the game chaotic.
Jones had 20 in the first, just 3 so far in the second. Looking for more here. The spin. Swatted away. Lead at 58, the lead at 15.
Now how about a calm Euro step? Took his time to finish.
Tigers looking for a couple of stops. And Witt will back it out of there.
This is also a tiresome way to play offense.
Jones, 25 on the board.
You have to have it both ways. Good ball fake by Mays.
And Henderson claims the rebound. Boy, he's been active tonight. 8 points, 6 boards for number 24 in white. Jones try to spin it in. And Smart powers that one in. Wanted the foul. No whistle.
You can't lob the ball against pressure.
Javonte Smart with 14. Skylar Mays has 19 to lead LSU.
Notice how Arkansas is trying to keep the floor spread. The players have got to break to the middle.
Jones avoided the contact. Good. 1 of 2 for Skylar Mays. Lead is at 12. You've got Taylor and Williams both back on the court with those 4 personals. Days as well. Watford dives for it. And he's going to be whistled for the foul. Doug Shows with a call.
I think they're going to isolate on Mays here. Allow Jones to be the decision maker.
Here goes Jones. Oh, flash it in. He had 24 in the win against Texas A&M his last time out. And he just quietly goes about his business as one of the best players in this conference.
Keep the ball moving, but you cannot get too conservative. Oh, that's a dangerous pass.
Mason Jones. Still got to close this one out before I go down that road.
Another throw over by Jones.
Jones double team fouled by Bishop's regular season. Well, Jones and Bishop hit the deck, no whistle. Mason gets it back with 33 and a chance on the other end. Too little, too late for LSU. Tigers are going to fall to 11-6 with one more.
That one's off the mark. Tamani Kamara.
Kamara in double figures 6 of the last 8 games. He's become another weapon for Tom Crean offensively. Sean Hammonds right here on Mason Jones Day.
21 points a game. Let's it go. That's off the back of the rim. So Joe and Jones have each gotten a shot up here in the open.
Just to get a little more size to try to match up with Rashawn Hammonds.
Desi Sills will check in for the Hogs after that timeout. Mason Jones right into a Bulldog defender, and that'll be an offensive
Margin is +5, while they're -7 on the glass. And they've got to get some stops on the defensive end.
Yep. As you said, +5 turnover margins, 9th in the country. Spin move there from Jordan Harris.
What a great take. Hard to bring help to the middle of the floor, and that's just a terrific individual move by Harris.
Harris was in the gym early today, getting up a bunch of shots. Sills will try it again. Got it again. Perfect. Can't afford that. Not a real deep team. Really, either one of these teams are super.
Yeah. No, I thought the extra 5 minutes took its toll on Georgia, for sure.
Mason Jones knew he trapped.
Of Anthony Edwards, who can just fight off the defender with his hips and shoulders.
Georgia's hit 10 of their first 14 shots. Harris. Jones lines it up. Off the mark.
And for Arkansas, who leads the nation in three-point field goal defense, they've given up 4 in the first half already.
Big drive by.
In the paint.
Mason Jones. He's fouled. More free throws coming up as he hit the deck.
Roll, and Tennessee was switching, putting a big on him, and he just was driving him back into the paint, pulling up and hitting shots. And that's not the way that Georgia guards their ball screen action.
Here's Jones right at Hammonds. Just threw it up, wanted a foul, and didn't. Hammonds at 6'9". He's clearly the biggest guy on the floor right now for either team. Boy, Isaiah Jones along the way, and we'll see what Arkansas does here. They have the basketball first to start the half, and right away, Mason.
He does a nice job of turning a corner.
Well, Isaiah Joe backed off a Wheeler, misfires on the 3. Hogs cut this thing to 6. See if they can cut into it here on this possession.
See, now this is what Mason Jones likes, is having a big guy on him right here. So Rashawn Hammonds has got his hands full.
Now it's Jimmy Witt. Mason Jones fires, got it. Uh-oh. 6 points a game.
The other thing that Eric Musselman is doing is he's getting a ball in Mason Jones' hands earlier in the possession when he's initiating.
Arkansas defender for the dunk.
Great steal, and what a terrific bounce pass by Wheeler. You know, because of his size, he's learned to play underneath guys. Nice delivery by Wheeler.
A freshman out of Belgium with that flush for the Dogs. Now here is Mason Jones. Off the front of the rim, easy.
Georgia has been able to get to the offensive glass.
Mason Jones hits that stanchion. You on Saturday, and the championship game will be over on ESPN2 on Sunday.
I mean, let's get excited about the women's tournament. Postseason starting, right? I mean, South Carolina has a chance to be the overall #1. And why that's important is because, yes, she is the coach of the Olympic team.
Here's Mason Jones to Sills. His layup is good.
Edwards.
What did Eric Musselman say like 10 times?
Yes.
Head's got to be on a swivel.
Yes.
Mason Jones.
On Anthony Edwards. Man, look at that. He just rises up.
Sills. Will back it out to Mason Jones. Asks for the screen from Bailey. Now Bailey backs off. The first and third leading scorers in the conference going toe-to-toe right here. Mason Jones wins that battle. Away with it. Back to Harris. Spins and had it picked right out of his hands from Jalen Harris. Here's Mason Jones. Mason right to the rack. So back of the rim for Gresham and rebound to Mason Jones.
See, your defense wants Gresham to take that shot.
Nice pass inside.
Joe is back, but I don't think he's fully back. He's played fine, hasn't shot it as well, but obviously you need your legs underneath you.
Saban Lee working on Witt.
Good matchup. Witt's a terrific defender. He's got long reach, gets into shot lines, forces guys, reads the scouting report because he forces guys where they're not supposed to go.
In our last game, Severe Wheeler, we continue. 17 games is a lot. 17 years?
Yeah, it's not a cup of coffee is what you're saying. Now, one of the great ones. Coached at a high level in the NBA and the G League, and now you know, think of this Arkansas team. They were solidly an NCAA pick 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Huge win at Indiana in the non-league. They beat a good Tulsa team.
Yep. The A&M's ball out of bounds. That's a break for the Aggies. Flag left open and knocks it down.
He's playing as confident as anybody in the
A&M, if they could get hot, you never know. They could end up in the NIT. I think there's still plenty to play for the Aggies. It's tournament time, anything could happen. Miller posting. And it'll go back to Arkansas.
6'9", 245, brute force out of the paint. But you got to show a little bit more resistance as Reggie Chaney comes in to see if he can't help stop Nebo.
Nice move by Miller. Oh, good D, and then a little too good foul called. We've also had 7 fouls called in under 4 minutes to start the half. 3 on the way, no good. Witt with a rebound. Good block out.
Yeah, man,
he didn't shrug his shoulders.
He knows how to win.
Jones, 8 30-point games this year. And another answered 3, this time by Chandler.
Who has coached a lot of young men.
And Mitchell, a champion off the court. He's on the SEC community service team. He went to Costa Rica over the summer and participated in a program called Samaritan's Feet, where he washed the feet.
Run on himself. And they're going to need him to do just that. You better find Joe the next time down if you're Arkansas and let him get it up.
That was his first bucket of the second half. He's got 13 points. Open is Jackson for 3. In and out.
Take a look at tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Farmbridge for LSU. Marlon Taylor inserted into the starting 5. Emmett Williams coming off the bench to provide a spark about 3 or 4 minutes in most games. Taylor inside, and that's one of the reasons. You almost have to convince your guys that you're capable of recharging the batteries, and it's awfully late in the year to be recharging the battery. Hawks in the midst of a 9-1 run. Mays can't end that streak. Williams on the offensive glass, up and in a game this season. Hawks by 20. Marlon Taylor. No. And we'll pick. So difficult to defend if you can score both outside and in. Here's the run and jump. The double team. They're willing to live with Bishop. This is the best half I've seen. And when they're clicking on all cylinders, this team feels like a team that could be in the tournament. Watford from the wing. Big shot. That's 3 on the board. Early action. Watford. Hogs starting to leave some points. By the way, you're in charge of getting us a couple of those shirts. I like those. Those are sharp for senior night. I thought so as well. Bishop, big shot. No. Rebound.
3 triples.
These guys have got to be getting tired. It has been a long time since we've had a stoppage.
We're still waiting for our under 12 media timeout. And that will get up.
It just seems the rhythm is way off for Arkansas.
Look at the SEC women's teams in the Charlie Cream bracketology. Mississippi State there is a 3rd seed. A&M is a 4 seed. Will Tennessee get into the tournament is the big question.
Well,
to the rack.
What a smart take. See, they switch on that middle pick and roll with small guys, not big guys.
Edwards off the front of the rim. And a foul on the rebound. Hammonds kicks it out to Crump. Got it. 7-point game.
Isaiah Joe's got face guarding responsibility in the corner. Oh, he didn't see Anthony Edwards. Oh, that's a huge mistake. Done a good job of keeping him out of the paint until right there. That's the first time he's been able to drive off the bounce.
Boy, Tamar has been everywhere here in the second half, and he sets up Crump. This season, of course, a 22-point advantage at Florida and 20 at Missouri. Trying to avoid that here. They were down or up by as many as 18 against Arkansas. Shot clock into single digits.
So he doesn't want a screen right here because he doesn't want to bring 2 to the ball because he can do this, create separation with his footwork. Now that's an air ball.
Henderson.
So we have 3 missed layups by the Arkansas squad this half. A rarity.
Bowden, rise and fire on the 3. Jordan McKnight, 23.
Hard to stop because he's so good off the bounce, right? He can pull up and shoot it or attack you, and then what they do is put Sills and Joe in opposite corners, and Mason Jones gets to decide what to do with the ball.
Fulkerson fouled on the floor.
To do in this building. One of the great venues in college basketball when the Razorbacks play well.
Pons muscling his way inside and again draws the foul. Henderson immediately raised. That was a rarity to say the least. Bowden off a curl. Never got his legs into that one, but gets the rebound. Inside Pons. Pons, top floor, gets it to drop. Jones, again, his career high is 41. That was set earlier this year against Tulsa. Bowden, nice pass. Yeah. And a thunderous slam.
Ellie of late from beyond the 3-point line. He's improved his shooting stroke off the mark on look number 1. On the other side, Dane, the star in this lineup of late has been Xavier Pinson, who's gone for 20-plus points. In 3 of his last 4, he's got the ball. Into the corner for Kobe Brown. It's Pinson, Pickett. We'll see Torrance Watson as well at times. The Tigers could not have asked for a better start, shooting 71% from the field. Pickett hit one from there a few moments ago. New 20-second shot clock.
More weapons on the court. And all of a sudden, top open.
Freshman left Joe on the other end, and now Jackson misses the ball. Arkansas last one here on January 25th. That was 4 weeks ago. This team is 11-0 in this building when leading at half this year. Kobe Brown had that spark back into the NCAA tournament picture.
Gives them a chance, that's for sure. Kevin, on that note,
here's the mid-range master. Back to work to turn around. And a rare miss for Jimmy Buckets. Noah Locke, the leading three-point shooter in SEC play. In February, he's enjoyed this time. The Gators, though, Dane, it's been a while since Arkansas has won a game here.
And the last time they were close, 2015, when the Hogs, controversial whistle down the stretch. Bobby Portis and company tried to break that streak. No luck.
Saved by Mann outside to Johnson, wide open. And Johnson tracks it down for a fresh 20. So a spark for head coach Mike White. Jason Jacobo off the bench.
Arkansas, one of the best defensive teams at getting steals, tops in the league. They're going to have to create some live ball turnovers so they can get their offense going with some transition buckets.
Lewis left open from the corner. Well, I think that was the thing you and I were talking about.
It is worth noting, we've talked about the Isaiah Joe injury. He was doing some things at shoot around. They think he could be back soon. But right now, this is not an Isaiah Joe problem. It's a Florida Gator problem.
Well, Joe on the floor is space
deep. They're going to need some unlikely scorers if they're going to claw back in this one.
High ball screen for Nimmer. And the offensive rebound is Scotty Lewis. Here's Bailey. Tried to dump it off to Witt. Lewis picked it off. Kerry Blackshear back on the floor to start the second half after being issued 2 early fouls in the first 2 minutes tonight. He's still scoreless. 5 to shoot for Noah Locke. Blackshear called for the off.
Strong hand, and Mason Jones loved to go left, and he's pushed off a couple times.
Gators led by 19 in the first half, trying to push it back to double digits here.
And, yeah, all the sports here are pretty doggone good. Gymnastics, women's softball. Gosh, the women's sports are really good. And the men are, too. Yeah, I notice a lot of teams, they list like 3 guards or 3 forwards and don't list a center in their starting lineup. And maybe that's a new trend nowadays.
Yeah, it used to be in warm-ups. You'd look over and see how big the other team was to figure out if you're going to win or lose. Now you look over and see how many guards they got.
It has changed a little bit.
In there, get 2 defenders in the air and eyes in the back of his head. Brilliant pass.
Bailey has 14 points tonight. More than twice his season average. Well, you just wondered, does Arkansas have that one last run to get over the top after trailing by 19? Johnson says not tonight.
I'll make sure I correct that.
It's a good defensive stat. Either way. This is a Arkansas team that right now sits at 4-7 in league play, 16-8 overall. Mississippi State 6-5 in league play. They started conference play 0-3.
See, Arkansas's defense has kept the ball on the same side of the floor, and they force a tough shot. And you got to rebound.
Boy, dude, what a great job to keep that. Always gracious with his time, to say the least.
He's the best.
By the way, into the game for Arkansas is Jamario Bell. He was on the football team the last 4 years, so he is in for just the 3rd time this season.
He doesn't have to put his hands behind his chest to get the arms and the chest to look big.
It's all muscle. That one popped out for Jalen Johnson.
Guys, and not play so casual on the perimeter.
Musselman was the shaking my head emoji just a second ago. He's trying to turn that into the smiley face one. Maybe the one with the sunglasses. Here's Gaines.
Again, that's what Arkansas you addressed at halftime. They've had better ball movement in their first 4 possessions in the second half than they had in all possessions in the first half.
The Hogs back within 15. They were down by as many as 19. Slips that one to Kamwa. Found it. That is money for that elbow.
Coming up with a steal, and Mason Jones starting the second half like he played the first. Struggling. Nico inside against Mason Jones. Got to give him the rock.
There it is. Nico gets it, dribbles once, but he traveled.
Bailey? Which Bailey? Adrio on the sling.
Missouri without Jeremiah Tillman today.
I think the Razorbacks need him to be more aggressive coming down the stretch of this game. With Mason Jones having a tough day, Jimmy Wick Jr. can take this game over.
Jackson into trouble. Friendly roll. And footer. 5-point lead for Mizzou.
Reed Nico has been consistent for Missouri. They can get the ball inside to him. And for Drew Smith, always a good option for the Tigers.
Quiet day today for Smith. He's got 6 points. Pickett that time hit the side of the backboard. Trying to post up. Shot clock at 5. Jackson on the drive. Lays it up and in. Razorbacks in front by 1. Just over 6 minutes to play.
Some adversity for the Missouri Tigers. Can they fight through?
Henson on the drive. There's a good find in the corner, but
good D by Mitchell Smith. Jimmy Wick Jr. loves the mid-range game. With Mitchell Smith, with his length, able to contest it. Now can the Tigers find the basket?
Henson crosses over, gets Chaney to go by him. Didn't pull the trigger, though. And now on the drive and one. It's going to be the shot. It just hasn't been there today for Mason Jones. 3 of 14 shooting.
Missouri.
Reggie Chaney getting the start today. Out front on Okoro, and Jimmy Wick.
And right there, he has a size advantage off the switch on Samir Dowdy and just powered him in the basket.
Dowdy waits in the far wing. He's got all 8 for Auburn. McLemore walked with it.
Ever fault the effort of the Auburn Tigers. They have always locked in.
Jones made his first 2. That time defended by Jamal Johnson. The freshman Okoro nearly turned it over. And Bailey fights for the board and will push it out.
This is where
the building's alive.
McCormick, as you said earlier, he can get to his spot at about 14-15 and then just rise over the top. Opted not to do so. That possession led to an Arkansas turnover.
Dowdy over Jones. Big time shot. Samir Dowdy's